We talked a lot about what Larry Gebert meant to all those he helped through television. A lot of that he did while he was on the clock, but there was a lot more Larry did on his own time that went even further. We're talking the rest of the iceberg, the under the surface stuff you don't always see. Since his early days in Boise, he's helped youth sports. There were so many hallway conversations here at KTVB where one would inevitably learn Larry Gebert coached Brian Harsin in Optimus football. But there were also so many things Larry did for his KTVB family like nobody else. Maggie O'Mara, who's worked with Larry for 2 decades, spent her first few Christmas mornings in Boise at Larry's house, opening gifts along with Larry's kids. It was common for Larry to have coworkers over for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and he would take them camping. He would take them out on his boat. He would teach them how to water ski. Larry and his wife, Julie, would give them a family away from family when they moved here without one. Joining us now back on the set is Joe Parris, because, Joe, you were one of those Larry alumni that got to spend a lot of time with Larry outside of the station in some of those personal moments.
Yeah, and I felt really privileged to get to know a guy that was, in everyone's living room for decades. And I think it's important for people at home to know that Larry was very similar in real life than he was on your television. He was a big personality. He cared so much about the people around us. He's just larger than life. He's like a cartoon character that you could reach out to and talk to and be there. But he was so much more than just this caricature that you'd see on TV. He had the biggest heart, as we've heard from all these nonprofits. This picture right there, Larry telling us a story around the campfire. He had the best stories, and he cared so much about us. And he really treated us like his kids, Like, he was so genuinely proud of so many Channel 7 reporters over the years. And I've had the privilege to talk with people over the last few days that worked with Larry, and they shared the same stories that I have. And, I always wanted to feel special and unique, but the truth is that Larry would have anyone over for dinner at any time. And I remember exactly 3-4 years ago, he and I sat and watched the Final Four together on the couch together. And his wife, Julie, made us a beautiful dinner, and we just hung out. And it just fell on me that I'm just sitting on the couch with Larry, just having a beer watching the game. And that's what Larry loved to do. He loved to be around people. He'd love to tell his stories. And he was so genuinely proud of all of us. There's a lot of reporters and producers that come into Channel 7. It's their first job. And he always takes people under his wing. And he always gave you the insight and the support you needed. And he was an honest guy. He would tell you what you needed to hear.
Yep,
and
he would do that.
He didn't sugarcoat things, If he told you, hey, I think you could get better doing this way, you say, okay, I appreciate that, Larry. And because it came from Larry, it meant so much. Larry will be remembered as one of the best mentors that has ever existed. He genuinely cared so much about us. And I remember during COVID, it was difficult because we didn't get to see Larry that much.
Yep.
And he called me, a few times. He said, I loved your story today. I really appreciate it. And Larry was a big politics fan. I know you and I, we cover a lot of politics, and he loved to give his comments, and he loved to tell me what he was thinking and tell me the stories of the old days. And I guess to wrap up here, Larry will just be remembered as a best friend to all of us. And we were so lucky to get to share him with his family.
I'll be the first to admit, I took Larry Gebert for granted. He was always here. He's been here longer than I was. I always expected him. He would be here longer than the rest of us.
Yeah.
And that'd be a regret of mine.
I just want to add one more quick little fun story. He was the first one in the building every morning.
Every morning.
And he made the coffee in the break room. And I'm going to tell you this, if you were a KTVB employee, you drank the coffee. Larry made it. So whether you liked it or not, that's your choice. But Larry brewed the coffee every morning before 3 o'clock.
And he's making that coffee somewhere else today.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Just, I want to send my prayers and thoughts to all of you and to his family. Just a great personality, great guy, just very, very friendly and very nice. So prayers and thoughts to all of you. Thank you.
We've been watching Larry Gebert ever since we've been in Idaho, and our hearts are broken. The man he is very special, something very special, and the news isn't going to be the same anymore. So, hey, we love him. You have a nice day, and keep your head up because he's somewhere good.